So you just got FL Studio 24 and you trying to figure out how to get started? Don't worry, I'm gonna show you everything you need to know to do that in this video. We're gonna start with these buttons up here at the top. And this first button right here is the playlist. And the playlist is where you arrange your patterns and structure them into a song. This next button is the piano roll. The piano roll is where you can make chord progressions, melodies, and drum patterns to put into the playlist. This third button is the channel rack. And the channel rack is where you add samples, drums, and VSTs, and you also can make patterns in the channel rack. The next button is your mixer. The mixer is where you can send channels from the channel rack to add different effects to them. And this fifth button is for the browser. The browser is where you get your samples, drums, and VSTs to go into the channel rack. Just find the sample, drum, or VST that you're looking for, left click, and drag it into the channel rack. Now those 5 buttons are the main buttons you want to remember when you're working in FL Studio, because those are the main buttons you're going to be using when you're making your beats. Next, you got your open project button, and when you hit this button, it just opens up all the channels and patterns that you created so far. So you can go straight to a specific channel or pattern that you wanted to work on. This button is the plugin picker. When you hit this button, it pulls up all your VST plugins, and you just go to the one you want to use, left click, and drag it into the channel rack. Another way you can add VSTs is to hit this plus button and just choose the VST that you want to use. This next button is the tempo tapper. You can just tap right here to get the tempo to however many beats per minute you want it at. This button right here is for the touchpads controller. This grocery cart button just takes you to the ImageLine website in case you needed to shop for some new items. This question mark button also takes you to the website in case you had questions that you needed some help with. This microphone button is for one-click audio recording. These scissors is to open up the audio editor. If you made a mistake or had something that you wanted to erase, this is the undo button. This right here is the add a pattern button. This drop-down menu right here is for the pattern options. This is your snap to grid menu. This button is for multi-link to controllers. So if you got a MIDI controller and you want to link the knobs on your MIDI controller to the knobs in FL Studio, then this is the button that you're going to use to do that. This button is to enable notes and clip groups. This button is for step editing mode. This button is to scroll to reach time markers. This typing keyboard to piano keyboard button makes it where you can use your computer keyboard if you don't have a MIDI controller. This button is for loop recording. This button is for blend recording or overdubbing. This button is for a 3-second countdown before recording. This wait for input button makes it where it won't start recording until you hit a key on your computer keyboard or your MIDI controller. And this is the metronome button. Metronome is just a counter that counts the beats between each bar. Up here you got your pattern mode button. If you're working on a pattern that you want to put into the playlist, then you want to keep it in pattern mode. But if you're done with all your patterns and want to arrange them and structure them into a song, then you want it in song mode. This is your play button. This is your stop button. This is your record button. This is the tempo. If you want to left click and drag it up or down, you can do it this way instead of using the tempo tapper. And this is the song position slider in case you wanted to go directly to a certain part of the pattern or song. Up here you got your file menu, edit, your add menu. This is another way you can add VSTs. The pattern menu, your view menu, options menu, the tools menu, and your help menu. Alright, that's a quick rundown of how to get started in FL Studio 24, and I'm going to be coming with a lot more videos like this where I go way deeper into detail, showing how to make beats in FL Studio 24. But if this video helped you in any kind of way, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel.